Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Hit the Mics with Ryan D. I, of course, am Ryan D. This episode is a real great episode, as the others are, but this has been kind of one of my best guests, I think. Jerry Garcia, who's a really, really funny comedian. Not the one in a pouch, not the hippie guitar player guy. Oh shit, my thing went off right now. I don't care. I don't care, guys. I'm trying to do this for you right now. I just got the new Spider-Man game. We'll get to the episode in a minute, but I need to complain about this shit right now. So, I just got back into gaming, and I've been super excited about this game. I've been waiting for it all year long. I literally just bought a PS4 just for the Spider-Man game. And so I pre-order it, and I get that old feeling I used to get. Like, you know, I had a Nintendo 64 growing up. All the way. I started with the Super Nintendo. But I had a lot of brothers, so we always got consoles to share. And when a new video game came out, or back then it was like Blockbuster, you know, like when you would go into the video store, you'd get a new game. And you were so psyched to just go home, and all you had to do was pop it into the system, and boom, you were playing. So I get that same feeling, that excitement of having this game, right? I'm like, go to GameStop. They call me up. They're like, you don't have to wait till Friday. You can come get it Thursday night. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go down there. I get it. I'm just like, oh, man. And then I got to rush home because I work 30 minutes from my house. And then I'm like, oh, man, I can't wait to come home and put this game in and fucking play it. So I put it in, and then this screen comes up on my PS4 that says, copying application will take 60 minutes. 60 minutes? I've waited like 365 days since I heard about this fucking game coming out, and I have to wait an hour to play it now that it's in my house? Man. Some fucking bullshit right now. So I'm sitting here waiting for that bullshit to install. But hey, this is a great episode. Jerry Garcia is a fucking hilarious comedian. Yeah, you may have seen him on Netflix on Chingo Bling special. We've had a few shows together over here in LA. He's a local guy. I mean, I respect his hustle so much. I've been respecting this dude since day one. I've seen him, kill it at the Ice House, like from even before when I was doing stand up. Even before I was doing stand up, this dude was out hustling, and I remember seeing him out, killing it. So keep an eye out for this guy, man. He's always hitting the road. He's a real fucking go-getter and a real hustler, man. So I'm really excited, real happy to have him on here. He came in here to the Shoebox Studios in my tiny ass apartment, and we hung out, and he watched me have a couple beers, and we talked, and I think it was a great time. We live streamed. By the way, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, man, because I'm always doing some funny videos on there, and I'm always live streaming the episodes. So if you're just listening to the audio, you want to hit me up on Facebook, because we're live streaming on Facebook. It's a lot better to watch, I think. You could always email me if you have any questions about the show, or if you want a shout out on the show. Always do that. I'm always open to feedback. So here it is, guys. Here, episode, I believe, 15. I could be wrong, man. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. But hopefully you enjoy it. Jerry Garcia.
Make some noise now. Start clapping now for the one, the only. Come on, guys. Mr. Ryan D. Let him hear it. Come on, let him hear it.
Yes, welcome everybody to another edition of Hit the Mics with Ryan D. I, of course, am Ryan D. And joined with me today is very funny, very awesome, very friendly comedian, Jerry Garcia.
What up, Ryan? Thanks for having me, dog.
We got the reggaeton horns going.
I see that,
the
dog.
explosions. We're ready to go, bro.
Damn, you got a really cool little production here, dog. I can't
Production
lie,
value
man.
is key, bro.
There's very dope. The guy, this cool little studio apartment you got here.
Yeah.
There's a tripod on your bed. It's like I feel you answered a casual encounters on Craigslist here, dog.
I know, only the cameras flip the other way.
It's not my first or my last.
So what's up, man? Thank you for coming.
Oh man, thanks for having me, dog.
Of course.
Shit, you almost forget you're in East LA here, dog.
Why? Just because I have the.
It's very trendy in here, fool.
In here,
safe.
just in here.
Yeah.
Then you walk outside and you hear the you hear the gunshots. So what's up, man? So you grew up? Did you grow up in this area?
Yeah, I'm from Huntington Park, just down the street, dog.
Oh,
15
shit,
minutes,
shit,
fool.
shit.
No
Okay,
freeway
cool.
needed, dog. Just take the streets, Olympic Boulevard, and I'm down the
man.
street, dog. Santa Fe to Olympic, and left on Duncan. I don't know if I should tell you this, but down the street, dog.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with this area, dog.
Yeah. Well,
Whittier Boulevard.
I grew up in San Gabriel Valley, so I just moved here. I've only been here for like a year.
The SGV.
But, yeah.
Yeah, what,
But
Temple City or what?
well, close. El Monte.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have to say it that way.
Yeah, El Monte.
Now that I live here, because
Yeah,
I can't say El Monte
No.
anymore.
El Monte, way.
So so you were born and raised in
Yeah,
in
born and
Huntington
raised in Huntington Park, man.
Park? Holy shit.
Yeah, fool. Like,
Yeah.
I literally didn't
In the
leave Huntington
nitty
Park.
gritty.
Bro, I didn't leave HP. Dog, I think the first time, besides field trips, of course, from school,
Right.
where I was well supervised, but like on my own, I never left Huntington Park until I was like maybe 16,
Really?
17. Like I would just stay in, like Truman's Show. Do I remember the movie with Jim Carrey? I
Yeah.
would just stay in
Yeah.
Huntington Park, bro. Like
Yeah.
I was always in the streets,
Yeah.
but always in HP, dog. Like
Yeah.
I would never cross Alameda, if you're familiar, or I never knew any of that.
Why
stuff,
is that?
man.
Is that just because
That's just
All
how
your
we grew
friends
up
were?
back in the day. Yeah, that's just
All
how
your
we
friends
grew
were
up. We
there?
would go bike riding, but we would all stay. Like we would talk about, because we got Watts next to us, dog.
yeah.
So we got Watts next to us, Compton not too far after that. We got Southgate the other side, but we just kind of just stayed in the zone, bro. Because you hear about gangs and you hear about,
Yeah.
I didn't see a black person until I was like 13, dog. I didn't know about black people before.
Hey, they're starting to move into this area a
Yeah.
lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girl's from Boyle Heights.
Yeah, that was down the
So,
street.
yeah.
Yeah, you heard about Bull Heights as well.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, where I grew up too, like it's funny because this neighborhood reminds me of how it was there when I was a kid.
When you were in Bull Heights?
When I was in when I was in
SG.
Amani,
Okay.
and it was like. It was a little more like this, a little more ghetto. Like now, it's hugely gentrified.
El
and,
Monte
like,
too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the property value is going up a lot because like there's a lot of
Everywhere.
there's a lot of Asians moving in. So they were in Temple City, like Arcadia already, and so when I was growing up, it was mostly like a Latin neighborhood. But now it's it's mostly like Asian and white people.
What's the difference between El Monte y La Puente? To me, they're the same.
They're the same?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Because
not.
La Puente's next door, isn't it?
It's a little further.
Oh, it's further.
Yeah, it's a little further down.
Oh,
60.
I get those two confused all the time. That's
Yeah.
why
No, El Monte's by Temple. It's bordered Temple City and Rosemead
Oh, Rosemead's the other city.
and Baldwin Park.
I just know it gets hot there too, dog.
Yeah.
It gets fucking hot.
Yeah. All the humidity ends up just falling right there in the valley. Yeah. But cool, man. Well, like I said, I'm super psyched that you're here. We just Jerry and I just did a show together down the street, which was very fun.
Yeah.
We both got really fucked up.
Oh, dog. Yeah, I'm still recovering from that night, dog. Literally, fool.
So, well, tell me about growing up in Huntington Park. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 38 years old.
38
dog.
now.
Yeah, 38.
Okay, so I mean, you've been doing stand up what? 15
9 years. Nah,
9 years?
fool, 9 years.
9
dog.
years? Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm a late bloomer, man. I started when I was 29. It was on my bucket list. Obviously, I went through all the Huntington Park School District. LAUSD, and I was always a class clown. That's how I made friends, and I never got bullied, so I was always just having fun all the time,
Yeah.
being a funny guy. And I always wanted to be a comedian. I would remember teachers would tell me, like in middle school, like, yo, you could be the next Eddie Murphy at the time, back in the early 90s and shit. They would tell me, yo, you'll be the next Eddie Murphy, and you'll be the next Bill Cosby, and so forth and so on. By the way, just black comics were being named that. It was always very dark. But, yeah, dog, so not until I saw George Lopez in the late 90s, early 2000s, is when I realized, yo, there's Mexican people out there doing this.
Yeah.
Doing this well. I mean, obviously I knew about Paul Rodriguez, but I saw Paul Rodriguez more as a as a movie star,
Sure.
you know, as an actor.
Sure.
I didn't really see him as a comedian.
Like
I didn't
Cheech
really,
Marin.
Yeah, Cheech Marin. Again, I saw these guys as actors, dog, not as
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
So not until I saw George Lopez do his thing in the late 90s, 99, 2000, 2001. I was there in my, late teens, early
That was when it
20s.
was hot.
That's when it was hot, fool.
Yeah.
And that's what turned me on. But I was still very young, and I didn't know anything about anything, dog. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about going to Hollywood. I didn't know anything about open mics with Ryan D. You know what I mean? I didn't know what shit was going on.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, dog. I didn't know what was the first step.
Yeah, so that's why I really wanted to. We've never talked about how you ended up going, because for me, it was something same thing. Oh, I always wanted to do it, and so I decided just to hit the Ice House, because that's where.
I would go see shows at the Ice House,
me
but I
too,
didn't think
all
you
the
could
time.
perform at the Ice House, dog.
Exactly.
You know?
Somebody's like, you should hit an open mic night. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So what was the first mic you hit?
My first mic was Ha Ha Comedy Club in North
North Hollywood,
Hollywood,
yeah.
which is way far from where I live. And the only reason I knew about this place because my friend kept pressuring me to try it because he thought I was the funniest dude in the world. We used to always go hang out. We used to go bar hopping, early 20s, 22, 23, 24. Bro, we used to go into bars, and my friends would tell the bouncers at the bars, yo, this guy's a comedian. And I had never been on stage ever in my life.
Yeah.
And they go, yo, this guy's a comic, though. He's funny. Like, he tours the country. So we could get, like,
So you can
get in, dog.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys would, actually, buy it. Like, oh, yeah, we'll walk in. Come in.
Well, you start to realize when you actually start doing stand-up that you could do that at most comedy clubs. For the most part, you just walk in and be like, oh, I'm a comic. And they're not gonna-
Yeah. I tell my friends to do that all the time. when
Me
they come.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. I was like,
Tell
just
me you're
tell them you're a
comic,
comic. They
Yeah.
won't fuck with you. They'll let you right in.
Yeah.
That's
Depends
funny.
on who's performing that night.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dog. And so, no, but not even the comedy clubs, bro. I'm just talking about fucking
Just
bars.
like bars,
Yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah.
there's a line.
Yeah.
We'd be like, go to Long Beach, whatever, anywhere else, Hollywood. Be like, yo, this guy's a comic, man. He's actually here from out of town or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're, oh, yeah, right this way.
Wow.
Hey, what's your name, man? Can I get free tickets? I'm like, yeah. I'll give you some tickets on the way out. When I come out, I'll get you some,
Nice.
get your name down.
Nice.
And but anyway, my friend, he lives in Sylmar. And he's like, yo, man, there's this club in North Hollywood. You got to come. They got amateur night, bro. Like, you got to come check it out.
Yeah.
And I looked them up. We're talking about this is 2009 and shit. So we looked them up. We Googled them or whatever. And sure enough, you see Jack Asadorian Sr.
Yeah.
He has like a little video out there talking about come to the fucking club, try out open
Oh, really?
mic.
He even had a video on there?
There's
just,
there's a
encouraging people
video.
to come?
Yeah, Jack. I don't know if it's still up, man. But Jack Asadorian, the owner of the Haha, he has his promo video of him promoting amateur night. Like anybody could come and perform.
Really?
And he's like in the back, supposedly laughing at the comics and shit.
Was that
And,
that was the old Haha, right?
the old Haha, fool.
old-
Yeah. So it was the old Haha. And so I went, and you have to pay $5 first of all to perform, dog.
Yeah.
And you do
Still
like
the same?
Yeah, it's still the same. Still is now. And I remember I just went up there, and I didn't get many laughs. I didn't do too well. But
What was your first set like?
fuck, dog. It was. I'm trying to remember some of the jokes that I would do, but honestly, a lot of this shit was just off the fly, thinking that I'm just gonna be funny up there.
Right.
I don't remember really preparing for an actual set. I just remember trying to be
Did you have any friends come, or you just went by yourself?
not for the open mic.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody, dog. The
Yeah.
only person I was actually married at the time, fool.
Oh, really?
And my marriage was not going too well at the time. So this is my way of just getting out of the house, And I would tell her, yo, I'm gonna try this comedy shit, and she liked me because I was funny. That's how we fell in love.
Right.
So she got it. She knew that one day I wanted to pursue it.
Yeah.
And even though during that time, our marriage was not doing too well, but she was still very supportive. She's like, yo, go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just my way of just getting out of the house, fool. Basically, just trying to be not home.
Yeah.
At first, and so I would go. I wouldn't tell anybody though. I didn't tell not my family, friends, no one. For like the first couple months, and I would go like once or twice a week because it was so far. It's like a good 45-minute drive for me, dog.
Yeah.
And so I would go, and it's at 5 p.m. Right, so you go sign up at 5 p.m. and you fucking pay your $5, and just to eat a dick real quick, and then just come back home.
Do 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like
do
5
minutes of. And eventually I started getting it. Okay, all right. I started meeting some comics like Greg Wilson and just comics that were there hanging out all the time. Adam Hunter and all these guys were just hanging out.
Yeah.
They'll just give me a few pointers and shit. Like, yo, man, you're pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
You got a good you got a funny voice. You got a good, you're pretty good on stage. Just try to write some jokes.
What made you go back? Because for me, my first time, I'm only 5 years in, but like my first time that I went up, if it wasn't for somebody telling me that they wanted to book me on their bar show, like that first time I went up, like I probably wouldn't have gone back.
Nah, fool. I no one offered me any spots.
No?
No. Jack Sr. would tell me, come back. Come back soon
yeah.
with your $5 anytime you want. Feel free to come return.
Yeah.
You know? But no, I just got really into the whole scene where watching other funny guys. Like I remember I would watch Greg Wilson, man. He's a good friend of mine now, and I remember watching him and being so fucking fun because he would host the open mic. He's a professional comic.
Yeah.
He would host open mic, and he'd just be so funny, dog. And I'm like, damn, this fucker was fun. Why is he not famous? Kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I was just enjoyed watching him, and I just kind of felt that like I could be that guy one day. I want to be. I want to be funny too, like that. And it just eventually I started putting thoughts together, and little fucking one-liners. One-liners was my thing at first. Just trying to get there fast.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to do quick jokes.
But then you start to realize 5 minutes is a long fucking time for one line.
Long time. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times I wouldn't get to 5 minutes, fool. I'm up by 3.5.
You bail early?
Yeah, I'll bail. But I guess once I started getting laughs, you started getting addicted to it, dog.
Yeah.
For me, it was the laughs. Once I started getting laughs and people were genuinely laughing at something I wrote or said.
Yeah, it's addicting.
Dog, that was crazy.
For sure.
Like, I gotta come back. I need more of this.
Yeah. So, so you never did anything like performing wise, like growing up, like because like I did. I did all kinds of shit growing up, and so it was something that was like always something that I never touched, and so I always thought about. And then when I finally started doing it, it was like it made sense to everybody who was in my family and stuff. But you said you were the class clowner, but did you ever actually do like any performance wise, like in school or?
The closest thing to it was like I was in 5th grade and I performed at Abbott and Costello, but that was a script, dog.
Oh, you
had to do the Who's on First. Yeah, we did the Who's on
Yeah.
First. And again, in front of the whole school auditorium, dog. So I performed that and it went very well.
Really?
Yeah, it was freaking dope. But I didn't take that as really performing because we literally had to just memorize the lines.
Yeah, the writing it kind of performs for you.
So we're just performing the fucking lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was but other than that, just anywhere and everywhere, dog. I was always a funny dude in class. I would get up and say stupid shit and just make fun. I would roast teachers.
Yeah.
You know, when I would have jobs, any job, I would just make fun of my boss and just make fun of people, but in a cool, funny way. You know, and I was in a tasteful way.
Right.
And just people just like being around me. I tell people all the time, that's the only way I really got laid all the time was meeting women and making them laugh.
Absolutely, yeah.
And in my early 20s, they got me through so much, you know? It just got me a lot of women at the time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it got me out of being bullied.
Bullied, too. I never got bullied. I never got my ass kicked. People would try and, like, you know, I'm not a big guy, dog, so sometimes I try to get muscled around, but there's always people around me like, nah, don't fuck with him. He's cool.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with this guy. This guy's funny.
Yeah.
You know, nah, don't fuck with him. He's cool, man. Always, dog.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, Huntington Park. A lot of cholos. I was around cholos all the time, you know. And there was times where like I want to join you guys, and they'll be like, "Nah, dog, you're cool, man. You're too fun. You're a cool guy. You don't need to. This ain't for you, dog."
You couldn't even make it into the gang.
No, they wouldn't let me because they felt bad for me, dog. They're like, "Nah, man, this guy, we don't expose him to this shit, dog." No, there was really honestly true story.
That's funny, man.
One of the leaders of the gang from my hood, well, literally told me like, dog, you know, you hang out with us, you can hang out with us, you know, because we play basketball, we're at the park, at the park and stuff. And like, you can hang out and shit, but you can never join us, man, because you actually got a future, dog. Like, you actually got a future. You're a very funny guy. You're a very cool guy. Like, I don't know, they felt sorry for me kind of shit. Like, just don't be this guy.
Huh.
You know, because that's what I try to be like. Just try to rough. Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? It's Friday. Well, we're gonna go literally drive by and shoot some motherfuckers. Oh, can I come?
Yeah.
Can I come? No, like no, you gotta go home, fool. Like this is some serious shit tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I mean, look at I was the fucking white guy on the block, right? So like, so all my friends, I had one friend. I have one friend that's I'm still super cool with, and he was like the biggest gangbanger on the block, man.
Yeah.
And it was like, but he would skate. So we got into skateboarding together, and I was a kid, and he was a lot older than me. So I'd go over at his pad, we'd skate and whatever. But like, yeah, the minute it came down to business, he's like, you gotta go home.
You gotta go home. Yeah. You gotta get out of here, dog. You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta.
I remember when I was in middle school, like 8th grade, dog. I was trying to be a thug, and I was like, yo, man, let me do some shit for you guys. What's up? And they're like, well, they gave me a bunch of Nichols fucking weed. Which niggas, oh, yeah, man, you want to make some money? They gave me like fucking 10 of them, dog. If you sell these $5, you get $50, dog.
Oh shit.
Yeah, go fucking push that shit, dog. And you just gotta bring me back like $20. I'm like, so I'm making $30 now. Yeah. But you could, whatever. But he never charged me the $20. He just said, you just want to see what I'm what I'm down for and shit.
Yeah.
And I would sell it, but things like that, dog. I tried, but I was always hesitant myself. Dog.
Right.
I was like, not just talking shit, just trying to be funny. My connection with them, you say skateboarding. My connection was basketball, dog. We used to go to the park. Actually, a school that had a park next to it, and the cholos were in the park. They fucking ran the park.
Yeah.
But they loved playing ball, and I was big into basketball when I was in my teens, dog. So I would shoot around with them and play with them, And they love just having me playing basketball with them, and you know that was their thing. Basketball was their thing, dog. Fucking seeing cholos running around playing basketball was funny, dog.
Because their shorts will fall off.
That's they're hanging out with one fucking. They can only draw one hand because they're hanging on to the other fucking side.
But anyway, fuck. So growing up in Huntington, sorry, my fucking backdrop went off again. Shit. Growing up in Huntington Park, and then okay. So did you grow up? How many siblings do you have?
I got 2 sisters and a brother, dog.
Two sisters and a brother.
Yeah.
And what do
the
they do?
second oldest. Nah, they do their own thing. They got the regular jobs. You know, one of my sisters is a teacher. My other brother just bouncing around job to job, doing his thing. Go fuck. He's thug life. He's a little bit more thug life than I am. You know.
So, what kind of jobs did you work before you actually started doing stand up?
I work with kids, fool. I work with kids, coaching, basketball, soccer, in South Central LA, man. That's
nice.
Yeah. I was 18, and Hooper Elementary.
So you're into sports, like
I love sports. I love basketball. I love it. I don't play it as much no more, fool. But
yeah,
you know, fucking.
Dude, I tried to get on a skateboard like 2 weeks ago.
I heard you
fucked my back up.
Have you been on it since?
No, because I'm still fucking sore from that.
Bad,
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Because I already have a fucked up back. I got in a car accident like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Fucked my spine up. So.
Oh shit.
Like now, every time anything, you know, I'm a big dude. So if I hit the fucking floor, man, it's not.
And you use skateboarding as a source of transportation too, dog.
Well,
right?
yeah, and that it was like, you know, I was trying to lose weight, so I was like, fuck it, I'll use this as my source of exercise because I was like super thin when I was, you know, at the top of my game until I broke my leg, but
yeah,
but yeah, man.
I never got to skateboarding, dog. Fuck that. I don't like. I've never broken a bone in my life, dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even doing like you play like football? Or
just sprain ankle. No, I play basketball and baseball.
Oh, okay.
But and soccer, but just sprain my ankle is the worst thing.
Yeah, even that. So I mean, shit, I sprained my ankle probably dozens of times.
What about bones? How many bones?
I've dislocated
your foot.
Yeah, I've only broken my ankle and my foot. Like what? It was like a weird fracture to where it was like in my foot. It was a hairline fracture, so my bone cracked in my foot, and my ankle kind of cracked a little bit.
Ugh.
So, but it was all hairline fractures, so I couldn't get a regular cast. And they gave me like a soft cast. It was like I had one of those stupid boots.
Yeah, the boots.
Yeah. So, but that was the only bone I ever. I mean, I dislocated a finger, then I had to pop that back in.
Fuck that.
This one I fucking bent backwards, and then this joint popped this way, and just out of instinct, bro, just popped it back in, dude. And then I went to the hospital like 2 days later because it swelled up so bad and the pain was so bad. They were just like, well, yeah, it's healing. You know, we'll just give you painkillers.
Yeah.
And then
did they put a splint or nothing though?
No, nothing. They were just they were like, you did what we would have done. So there was that. Fuck, what else? I've sprained it.
What about like concussions and shit?
I've probably had about 2 concussions. Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Nah, I couldn't never get to. I couldn't. I'm not good. I don't deal good with pain, dog.
Yeah, but I was, you know, I grew up in a house where you know, I had 2 brothers, and my older brother was such a hard ass. So like, and he was skating. He would skate too, and he was like a football star and shit. So like, he get hurt all the time, and would kind of just self-medicate and just fucking would brush it off. So
yeah.
At my house, it was like I'd feel bad if I had to have my mom take us to the fucking hospital again.
Yeah, you don't do that.
So I would just, you know, I'd come home with like, you know, something wrong or whatever. I'm like, it's fine, but you know, probably wasn't. You know,
Damn.
I'm pretty sure I broke a toe a few years ago, but that was something different. That wasn't
just being klutz.
yeah, and I fractured an elbow. That's another thing they couldn't really do anything about, and I sprained a rib once.
Damn.
And I broke my neck in a car accident, but that was something different. Yeah.
Fuck, dog. Nah, dog. You know, I've never spent a night in the hospital, fool.
Oh man, it's the fucking worst.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's the worst, man. And it's funny because I was just talking about that accident that I got into. I fucking hit my head on something or my eye. So, I forget which eye it was, but I ended up swelling up pretty bad. So I had to get like MRIs and stuff to like see if there's any trauma in my, because my vision was fine, but my eye swelled shut.
Fuck.
So and that was the same accident. I fractured 3 vertebrae in my neck.
Fuck.
And I had to spend like 3 or 4 days in the hospital.
Was it your fault or you got hit?
Well, my friend was driving and he fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's what happened. But
damn.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Okay.
But being in there, man, I remember that was the worst. I just wanted to go home.
Yeah, dog.
And the Filipino nurse I remember was like fucking just she had to put an eye patch on my eye, and just fucking just squeeze. You know, the eye that I just slammed into something, and she's just putting the tape on it like it's.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
It's like, ow.
Ugh.
Yeah, but it ended up being fine. But the thing was, my vision it fucked it up a little bit more. So I had just gotten in to get a prescription for my glasses a week before, and then I got in my accident, and I came back, my fucking prescription was different.
Dude.
And when I showed up to pick up my glasses, my eye doctor was like, "What the fuck happened to you?" Yeah.
Were you wearing your glasses when you crashed? So did it go?
No, because I had just got. Well, the thing is, like, my vision ended up going like. I didn't know it was so bad. Like, I had just gotten glasses for like the first time. I was like in my early 20s, so I was like 21.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had just gotten my first like actual prescription for glasses since I was a kid. And I used to use them for reading when I was younger, but I don't know, I just never went.
Yeah,
just never went. Like, I just had a job that I had health insurance. I was like, fuck it, I'll finally get this taken care of, and checked it out. And I was like, holy shit, I'm blind.
Damn, fool.
So. But yeah, no, I didn't have glasses at the time. But I think I hit my eye on. We might have hit heads or something. I don't know what the fuck.
You and the driver?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that's might have what because we flipped and we kind of tumbled and shit. It was a fucked up accident, bro.
Where was this at, fool?
On the 210 freeway, and coming from Laverne.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know Laverne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia lives out there now.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Jeff dropped in on my Silver Dollar show not too long ago.
Oh no way. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just trying to like get an understanding of like growing up. Like you said, you always busting balls and trying to, make people laugh and shit. For me, it was always like I always felt like I could be more productive doing something that I actually enjoyed. So like I literally every time I had a job, I was like, I fucking hate this job. I never had a job that was like fulfilling.
Fun.
You know what I mean? So. I'm just trying to get an understanding of like what you were like up to that point, and then in my opinion, when you finally get that one thing that kind of fills a little hole, then you're like, oh shit, like this is something I should be doing for forever.
You know what? I was never bitter, man. I work with kids, and I love working with kids.
Oh, yeah?
I love everything about it. They're fun. I feel you're making a difference, dude.
Sure.
And, it's just I love seeing like raw talent. Like some of these kids are fucking badass basketball players, whatever,
Yeah.
and just watching them. And I did that throughout my whole 20s, dog. And I was very passionate about it. I used to coach. I'll be like, coach, sign me up for everything, dog. I'll sign up. I used to do soccer coaching, basketball coaching, girls volleyball, flag football, everything, dog.
Yeah.
It was so dope, man.
Did you work for like Parks and Rec?
The district, school district,
okay.
the school district. Yeah,
I worked for Parks and Rec for a minute too.
Youth services. It's called youth services, and then Woodcraft Rangers. All these after school programs that provide these programs for the kids. Yeah. And I used to. Eventually, I became like a trainer. I was training other coaches.
Was that before you had kids, or
before I had kids, man? Yeah, shit. That's how I met my wife, actually, dude. She was a parent. Yeah, she was.
So let's talk about that. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. She was a sister of one of the kids I was coaching and shit, and that's how I met her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you met your wife through your youth programs, and how long you guys been separated?
It's been like 5 years now, dog.
You guys are cool now, or?
Yeah, we're very cool, man. Yeah, actually, I got 2 babies mamas, got 3 kids, and they're both.
Of course you do.
Yes. Why wouldn't I? Right? The math adds up, right? The numbers are correct. But man, it's hard. It's hard. Even I try and write jokes about them. But it's so hard because they are very, very cool people, man. Both of them are very cool, very supportive. They like my sense of humor, which is how I met them and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to just talk shit. Now they get me. I do this professionally.
Yeah.
I pay my bills through comedy now.
Yeah.
So they nothing but supportive, dog. So it's hard for me to talk shit, dog.
That's great, man.
So
I mean, you got it easy. I mean,
so far, so good.
Sort of.
So I gotta do my part.
I
gotta do my part. Every once in a while, man, they'll fucking rein me in a little bit, give me a good one. But it's cool, man. It's what it is.
Okay, so you started going to hitting the open mics, and then because I remember, dude. I don't even want to like. I don't mean to like age you in any way, but I remember seeing you when I was going to like the Ice House and shit, and so like if in all. I don't know. It's kind of weird for me that you're at my place. You know what I mean? Like, because like you're one of the guys that I would see a lot at the clubs before I actually started doing stand up. So like this is kind of a cool thing for me.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like about this business is that you wind up hanging out with your heroes at some
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was that like with you? Because you were starting to bump elbows with some pretty big names.
Yeah, pretty early, man. I know what you mean, dog. It's a trip, dog. Like I said, like people like Jeff Garcia, or somebody I really looked up to.
I mean, even if they're not even that, you know, maybe they're not even worldwide known, but they're just like dudes that you used to see a lot, you know.
Yeah, or hear about, and you know, I mean, even Carlos Mencia, somebody, you know, like Steve Trevino, you know, with it's the Willie Barcena. Felipe Esparza when I first started coming up, you know,
Felipe,
like
he's from right here, from
he's
Boyle
down the
Heights,
street from me, Boyle Heights, man, and just watching all these guys on TV or a bigger stage and stuff, and then eventually doing shows with them and being on the same lineup, it's pretty fucking dope.
Right.
When I was coming up, I was only like 5 years in the game when I started like literally opening for these guys, being a 5-minute guy, the 7-minute guy up front, and man, time flies. Eventually. It's only been 4 years later, but I've been able to take advantage of the breaks I've been catching lately.
For sure.
You know, big shout out to Chingo Bling, who's the guy who put me on Netflix, man. And
that's right. That's
special.
Right. What was that like, man?
Amazing, man. This is
shout out Chingo. This is the shout out button. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. I'm sure you appreciated that. That's my boy, man. Chingo Bling's the one that he had Netflix hit him up. They wanted him to do an hour special.
I saw it.
And they're like, yo, you know, pretty much like, I got some comics that I'd like to, you know, showcase.
Yeah.
And Netflix, at first, I tell this story all the time, man. Netflix was like, no, we're not sure about Jerry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not, you know, he's a little slower paced comic. We like your energy, you know, your puro pinche party, you know, party atmosphere, fucking around and stuff like that. Jerry's more like talking about kids and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't know if he's going to be correct choice for this special and stuff. Jesus Sepulveda, who's also, he's high energy, very funny guy. The other comic, also John Stringer, very high energy, very slapstick, you know, falls on the floor. Just that's the energy we want for this special. And Jerry doesn't fit that, man. So they actually said no, and Chingo like fought for me, man. He fought for me, put his foot down, like, yo, I want this guy. You'd be great for this, man.
Yeah.
And so I can't, you know, just thank him enough. And it worked out great, man.
Yeah, because I mean that's a big credit for you to get.
Big credit, and then after that I was able to get HBO Latino.
That's right.
And
that's
then,
right.
we got it.
And my boy Ben Gonzalez was on that.
Ben
too.
Gonzalez is on that shit too, dog. So it's fucking just being able to take advantage of those, you know, those breaks that they seldom come. They don't come too often, dog. Yeah. So it's just a matter of being able to. Once you get that opportunity, be ready for it, dog.
Sure.
You know, just be ready for it, and that's why you always keep writing. You know, doing podcasts, just keeping your name out there as much as possible.
Stay
Something
relevant.
that you start learning, dog. You just stay on people's minds no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
So I right now I'm in a place where like I say yes to pretty much everything, dog.
Yeah.
Any bar gig, anywhere, just because I gotta keep practicing and I gotta keep getting better, fool.
So who was one of the first dudes that like kind of gave you a break and took you on the road?
Jeff Garcia, bro. No doubt. I met him at the Hot Comedy Club within my first year of comedy, bro. Within my first year, I was maybe like 9 months in the game.
Oh shit!
And this was like, by that time I had a good little 5 minutes going on, right? Tops, right? And then you know, Jack Asadorian from the Haha and Terry, the owners, would say good things to Jeff about him. Yo, man, this guy's funny, Jerry, man. This guy, keep an eye on him, man. This guy's, check him out. You gotta check him out. And I remember at the time I was talking about Huntington Park, and I don't know, my mic's on. Check. Can't hear myself.
Oh yeah, no, you're on. Here, let me see the.
I got it.
It's those headphones might be fucking.
Anyway, at that time I was talking about Huntington Park and little paisa Mexican jokes, you know, the old Mexican hacky shit.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I was getting the laughs. I was talking about quinceañeras and whatever, and getting laughs. You know, with easy jokes.
Yeah.
But Jeff was like, "Yo, man, you're fucking pretty funny, dude." And you know, Jeff was the first guy who pretty much extended his hand out and said, "Yo, man, you ready? You want to go to Phoenix with me? You want to go to San Jose with me? You want to go to San Diego with me?" I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And I was hosting or just being the first 7-minute guy.
For sure.
And my job was to drive him around, take him to places, stay up with him all night, drink with him all night.
Yeah.
Make sure he
got back.
Make sure he gets home safe. And that was my job for like a good 2 years, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Learned a lot though, man.
Yeah. So, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna ask you next. Okay. so you start hustling with Jeff. Were there any points in that in that whole time where I don't know, where you start, because on those times when you're on the road and stuff, you kind of really start to find yourself a little bit more, and were there any parts where you doubted yourself and shit, or?
Honestly, I don't, man. I'm not trying to be that guy, dog.
No,
but
for sure.
I just have so much
It's good to have
passion
the
and
confidence,
respect, and had so much love for this that I wanted to do right. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do right away as soon as possible. I wanted to be funny all the time. So
Yeah.
I ran a lot of jokes through Jeff. I would write. That's one good thing rolling with Jeff, man. I would like this is a joke that I still do today because I love it so much. There's actually 2 jokes that I really enjoy doing that I still do today, 9 years. These are jokes that I wrote fucking 8 years ago. Within when the Ghostbuster joke that I used to think my dad was a Ghostbuster, turned out he was just a leaf blower, man. Fucking one of the oldest jokes, and I still do it, but I've changed it up. I made it differently and better. And Jeff helped me out with that joke.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff would be like, if you don't get that joke right within 2 months, I'm keeping that fucking joke. I'm taking that joke from you, dog.
Yeah.
It's that very funny premise. It's a very funny joke. So I would work on it. It'll be my opener joke.
Yeah.
And my other joke was a metrosexual one, was people, think I'm gay because I'm a little,
Yeah.
small and shit. I dress pretty, and people think I'm gay. Somebody called me a metrosexual. It's like, I had sex in a bus one time. Fool, I
think I heard you do that.
An old joke that I still bring up once in a while, just because I enjoy doing those jokes very much, man. And Jeff helped me with those jokes.
That's great. Yeah, I have a few that like that too. That I still do that. Somebody, Jay Hollingsworth. You ever heard of him?
No.
He's a big fucking white guy. Big. He goes by Big Irish Jay. He's the one who helped me out with one of the stories that I tell, and I still do it.
Yeah.
And it was early on, my first year too. Yeah.
The shit.
Yeah. And so it's awesome to be, on the road with somebody that.
As far as feeling down at any point, it's not about feeling down. It's just that I wanted this so bad that I wanted to get to 20 and 30 minutes as fast as possible. And sometimes you just not getting there, dog.
Yeah.
You can't get past your 7-10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Sometimes they'll be like, I remember when I had 7 minutes, they'll be like, you're gonna do 15. And I'm like, I can't, fool. I can't. I don't have. And that's the frustrating.
Yeah.
And that's what depressed me. I wish I had more time.
Sure.
Because people were those 7 minutes I would kill, fool. People, I would kill those. People were laughing their ass off. But all you had
was 7 minutes.
And that's all I had. And people were like, more. You should stay up there longer.
Yeah, it's
and
funny.
I literally be going through my phone that's fucking all I got, fool. I literally don't have nothing else.
Yeah, I had to do a half hour one time in Seattle, and it was and they were like,
the casino one or what?
Yeah. They were like,
show.
can you or not Seattle, so upstate Washington.
Yeah,
right?
I've done that show.
Tulare or whatever. Yeah. So I did that one, and they were like, can you do 30? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking had 15 maybe.
Yeah.
So
what
man,
did you do, fool?
Dude, I just wrote that whole week, just hammered it out, and I went to every open mic all week long, just trying to fucking just hammer it out.
Figure it out.
And I did 10 minutes of crowd work.
Yeah.
So, and I ended up getting through it. I ended up and it ended up working out fine. But I was like, holy shit, I can't fucking do that again.
Scary, man.
Yeah. It was really scary.
Yeah.
So I just kind of saved all my best shit for the end, because I was like, okay, so I have to fucking pander for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Now I'm doing 45. I headline a lot of places now, and now I want a new 45. I want a new 45.
So you
45.
right? See, now we're getting into something good, because I don't, for me, I've gone a few places and done 30 minutes. 30 is what I can do. I could do a decent 30.
Yeah.
And then a solid 20. You know what I mean? Solid 20.
Yeah. You're in a feature.
30.
You're in a feature play. At 5 years, you're 5 years in the game. That's about right.
Yeah.
That's where I was at 5 years.
Yeah,
myself.
exactly.
I was at 20 strong, 30 maybe.
30 maybe.
Yeah. And I was that guy. Yeah.
30 if you're doing well.
Yeah, 30 if I'm feeling it and shit on a good night. Yeah. But now I'm at 45. I could do an hour, but I don't really want to do an hour. I'm not that guy either, man. I just have a good time and get the fuck off, And I could do an hour. I've done an hour.
At this point, do you take a feature with you, or you just have the club give you a feature?
It depends on the deal that I work out with the place I'm working at. But it's rare, dog. It's rare. Usually they just want you. We want you. How much for you?
Yeah.
How much for you? And then I'll ask, kind of bring somebody well, I don't have enough for the budget. You got to pay them off your money.
Right.
Yeah, shit,
and you're like, fuck that.
Yeah, it depends how much. It depends. I just kind of keep it real.
Yeah, for sure. So how does one? Let's talk about the. So when you were a couple years in, you're going with Jeff. You're hitting the road with Jeff, and then what happens when you come back? Are you trying to like, how do you even, are you hitting people up on your own, like trying to, because like I'm just wondering, I'm trying to get the feel of like what the jump point is from being like an opener to a feature to like a headliner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. As far as hitting people up, you know, you build connections, you build friendships with people, right? So
Yeah.
like the people who are producing shows around LA, you know, there's people who I connect very well with, like Sebastian Cetina and some of these other comics who are always doing shows.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm very comfortable hitting them up. Yo, man, what's up? You got anything, dog? I'd love to be on this shit. But there's other comics and there's people that hit you up, man. Like they'll
sure.
be, again, I just try and be cool with everybody, just be professional with everybody, stay in my lane. You know, I don't know, man.
We talked briefly. I don't want to get like too fucking like into the biz and like, you know, try and throw anybody under the bus. But we talked briefly about like trying to like kind of branch out and be your own person, then like falling in and then falling into like a, you know, a trap that kind of a lot of people wind up being.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, especially being like a Latino comic, like you end up being kind of lumped in with a group of people.
Yeah,
and you seem to have found a way, or you're on your way out of like, you know, climbing out of that and being your own person.
Yes.
So like, you know, how does one try and maintain that?
Fuck, man. I think it's just momentum, bro, because you start to build this momentum, and like I said, you start taking advantage of certain situations, and then people start to hear about them, and I think it's just going off that wave that you have. And sometimes because you become very you know, you're kind of like in a safe zone, right? You become comfortable,
right,
just being the opener for somebody. Right. And I was becoming that guy with Jeff. I was really comfortable with him, dog. And Jeff would literally like push me away. Yo, man, you're ready, man. Get the fuck out of here. Do your own thing, dog. And I was like, I wonder if I could feature for somebody else, man. And now it got to a point where like I want to be a headliner too, dog. So I have to work towards that, man. So again, it's just the momentum you build on yourself is what I'm trying to say.
So were you always like just like confident enough to be able to do the time that you have now, or you kind of just get? I mean, it's just because to me it seems like 9 years is just enough time. It's like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's also, some people say 15 years. Some people say even fucking 20 years.
I'm looking forward to when I hit 15. I want to, you know, I'm looking forward to where I'm gonna be at that time, man. But right now I'm at 9 years, almost 10. I actually turned 10. In October, I started in 2009, so I don't turn into 10 next year. I just barely turning 9 now, fool.
Yeah.
So I started 2009, 2018, dog. So yeah, but
2009. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
I can't believe that's already fuck. I can't believe that's 10 years ago already, or almost.
Next year, 2019, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I'm not even at 10 years yet, man. But fuck, dude, it's crazy, man. I mean, I want to be a headliner, but then I see real headliners.
Right.
You know, who've been doing it for a long time. And I tell myself, yo, I still got work. I still got a lot of work to do, man.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to look at it too. I mean, you always have to think that there's another goal.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise.
Oh man, like I tour with Paul Rodriguez sometimes, man, and man, just watching him just do 2 hours effortlessly, dog.
Yeah.
He just goes up there. I do my 15 or so, 15, 20 before him. And then he usually carries 2 openers, like a Gene Pampa or a Joy Medina or somebody. So I go first, usually because I'm the youngest from them. So I'll go first, and then I'll do my 15, 20, and then Joy Medina or something does like 30, and then fucking Paul Rodriguez goes in for like an hour and a half, dog.
Fuck.
Just killing it, fool. Just talking and just being funny. And I'm like, I can't do that yet, dog.
Yeah.
I can't do an hour and a half like that of just nonstop fucking
For
entertainment. Sure. I got work to do, dog.
Yeah.
I got work to do.
I've seen him at the Ice House.
Yeah. So he just makes it look so effortlessly.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying all that shit's fucking killer material, but he just makes it look like a fucking professional. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he's at. He's okay with people not laughing at certain shit.
Yeah.
And that's all that shit that you just soak that in. You're like, all right, yeah, I want to be that guy, fool. Like, I'm still the guy who, like, still inside my head freak out when a joke doesn't hit. And I'm like, oh, okay, what about this one? In my head. I don't show it.
Right.
But, you know, watching people like Paul Rodriguez, you're just like, fuck, man, all right.
For sure. So, are you so right now? Okay, so how much shit have you written throughout the years that you actually use in your 45?
Not everything, fool. Hell no, fool. Like it's all on my phone too. So I got I off my iPhone.
Maybe this is a better question. How long did it take for you to actually wind up being, you know, at a 45-minute mark? You know, being confident enough to be like 40, 45 minutes.
Probably 8 years because I've been doing my 45 minutes for like the last year now.
Yeah.
So, which is why I want new 45 minutes now.
Yeah.
And so, like, out of those 45 minutes, man, that's 45 minutes. I'm not including the 15 that are on Netflix and the 10 that I did at HBO. So that's
you
25
drop those?
minutes. As much as every once in a while I'll bring up one or two from there.
So even though they're not really like your specials, you still just kind of
because I feel people have seen them, dog. I don't know. I still use some of them, but there's like a lot of jokes I don't do, or I've changed them up differently. Like I'll do a different angle of that joke.
Yeah.
Like there's a Father's Day joke that I do on Netflix that I do now differently. You know, like now I do it more like a venting. I'm mad at my kids for doing this to me, and about picking up my kids on Father's Day. Fuck that. It's totally different. Same premise, different punchline from what's on Netflix.
Gotcha.
But it's the same. I got it from that. From that joke, I molded it into a different joke.
Something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's basically it's a remix of that fucking joke. You know, so things like that.
Cool. So when are you one of those dudes that actually sits like? Do you like set aside time to actually sit down and write?
Depend. Yes and no. Sometimes like I'll sit down and like today's the day I'm free. I have nothing else to do. Let's start fucking because I have ideas in my head. Like I have this idea about this fucking joke. Like I'm writing I'm writing a joke about it's just a premise, but basically I'm writing a joke about I'm falling in love with my best friend's side chick, right? So my best friend's married.
Yeah.
He has a side chick, and I'm falling for her. Like that. So now I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna fucking make that into an actual little fucking joke. So it's all that what I'm trying to say is that ideas in my head.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, like, you know what? Maybe if I say it this way, and I'll sit down and I fucking started going like, trying to work it out that way, you know. But I always have like little points like I want to talk about. I want to talk about this, or my kids starting school. My kids go back to school next week, so now I want to talk about how that's gonna work out now that they're not home anymore.
How old are your kids now?
10. I got 11-year-old, 10-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Fool.
Dang, so like right before you started comedy, you had
they were babies, fool.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they were babies when I started doing comedy.
Man, do you think that helped having a lot more material when you when you got into it, being married and having 2 kids?
I didn't talk about a lot about my kids until they turned like 4 and 5.
Yeah,
I didn't talk about them being.
Well, they're not doing shit when they're babies.
They ain't doing shit, dog. Yeah. And so much material has been done already about fucking changing diapers and shit like that. So,
yeah, totally.
But I know I have a few like Similac jokes and Infamo jokes and shit like that. But it wasn't my thing. When I first started doing comedy, all I talked about was growing up in HP, cholos, parties, girls, hood rats. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about that shit. Yeah, just the basics shit, fool. You know, Mexican shit, Mexican problems, blah, blah, poor people problems, hood. Yeah. That's what I was talking about, fool. And again, I was gaining the laughs. Yeah. And it was just building my confidence.
For sure.
So.
I guess what I want to get into is, like I said, being lumped into, we were talking about being lumped into like, you know, a Latino comic and stuff, and you kind of get thrown into like almost like a category. Yeah. But I feel like you have to kind of adapt a little bit, at least a little bit, and everyone has to kind of enjoy you universally if you're going on the road a lot more, right? Fool. So, you know, was that like a challenge for you, or?
It still is, fool. Like I just headlined Irvine Improv, man, on a Tuesday night comedy juice show. All white people, dog.
Yeah, I did that one. I've done that one too.
Yeah, 90% white people, dog. And I did 30 minutes of my jokes, my material, and just kind of widened it up a little bit. Just made it a little bit more mainstream. Full, just basically less bad words, you know. But getting the point across. Sure. I've got kids. I've got babies' mamas. I've got problems. Yeah. I'm from HP, but in a way where everybody can be included in my jokes, dog. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the one thing I wonder about a lot. Just from that, what we talked about before was having that, you know, that kind of that chunk and being categorized that way, you know. So I mean, but you've been I mean, not international, but national. Like
I've been overseas. I've performed for the troops. Yeah.
Well, so you've been, but that's what I'm saying. Like you've been to like different parts of the country to kind of throw out your shit. Where was it received? Like, you know, where you least expected it, or the least, or I mean, either one.
I can't say I really bombed, but one where I least expected, and I did very, very well. Where I least expected it was Miami, fool.
Really?
Because there's Latinos there, but there's no Mexicans. I mean, very few Mexicans came out. I literally saw it. I was there all weekend with Jeff at the Miami Improv, at the old Miami Improv. I don't know if it's still up, but there's a new one. But I went with Jeff, and we were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like 7 shows, fool. I must have seen 7 Mexicans the whole weekend, fool. Total.
Yeah, because they're all
Cubans,
Cubans,
Dominicans,
yeah.
Central American, no Mexicans. Yet I had a fucking blast. They got all my jokes. They all loved. I had a great fucking time.
Really?
And I was really nervous at the fact that there are no Mexicans here, dog. These people are not gonna get me.
That's another thing too. Is like, I mean, I didn't even know that there was like there's a weird racist thing going on between like different types of Hispanics.
Yeah.
So, like,
well, the connection is not always there.
yeah, well, there's that, but also, I mean, like Salvadorians and Mexicans hate each other for some fucking reason.
That's just how it's gonna be.
And it's so fucking weird. Like, and I didn't know this until, I mean, my fiance's she's mixed.
Yeah,
she's Salvadorian.
Oh, you told me. Yeah.
So like, when we ended up when we moved out together, our first landlords were Salvies.
Yeah.
And they didn't like me. They didn't like me because I didn't speak Spanish. They thought that I was taking advantage of her because I was at that time I was
being overprotective.
At that time I was doing stand up full time. You know, I was just like out, you know, every night. I was going out every night doing spots, and I worked 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So I had like a part time job. I was working 2 days, but I was like, bitch, are you getting the rent? Like, what the fuck? Who's it to you or whatever, right? And it was just funny to like bring that up to her parents, and we talked to her parents about it. We're like, we got to move out because they're in our shit all the time. They're like peeking through our fucking windows. They want to know, you know, what time I leave and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
she could get awkward fast.
Yeah, but then both her parents, her mom's Salvadorian and her dad, they're like Salvies.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll
like,
fucking come
you
get
can't
you.
trust them.
I got Salvi family, bro. Trust me, dog. I get it, fool. I get it, dog.
But that's something that I didn't even realize until I started, you know, dating her. And
but at the end of the day, funny is funny, fool. Like, funny is funny. And the connection. I didn't think it wasn't even the Salvi thing with me, dog. It was more of the Cuban thing with me. More like that's totally different type of Latinos, dog.
I mean,
I think Central Americans, Mexicans are very well connected with the same culture and the same growing up. So I don't think about it like that with Salvi. You know, it's not. It was more of a Cuban Dominican thing for me. That I was like, fuck, I don't think those fools are gonna get me, dog.
Yeah.
Their Spanish is totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't see it that way, fool. But then I went to Washington D.C. and same thing, fool. You see more Puerto Ricans, shit like that, and they're like, all right, and they still got it too, dog.
Yeah.
They still got it. So Venezuela, I saw like Colombians. Saw like Colombians up there and shit, and I'm like, those are the type of Latinos that I was kind of like not sure if I was gonna be able to connect.
Well, that would
Guatemala,
make sense.
Salvador, I get it. I got a lot of friends, family, they're from there, fool. So I didn't really worry about them too much.
Yeah.
I think we got the same swag and you know shit. L.A., you know, I think the L.A. helps. You know that we grew up in fucking.
Sure.
I didn't worry about that. I worry about those people, and then I worry about the white. I was in Boston, performing in front of a bunch of white people. That went okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say bomb,
Boston's
but
gotta be scary though. I mean, but I feel
the
like
show itself was not bad. The show itself was okay. I'm not saying I'm not gonna stay here and I didn't kill.
Yeah.
I survived. I got my laughs. I got my chuckles.
Yeah.
I got my people. I got the handshakes and the pictures afterwards.
Yeah.
Nobody said, "Oh my God, you're the fucking greatest."
Sure.
I'm not gonna say that. But about Boston, outside of the show, dog, I was getting my little fucking stares and shit.
Yeah.
It was a little too dark to be around this side of town, dog.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm half white. I'm scared to go fucking. I'm scared to go.
With Chingo, we did Memphis. I did with Chingo. We did
Memphis, Tennessee.
Fool, we did Memphis, Tennessee. We did Birmingham, Alabama.
How was that?
Fool, again, those were one-nighters, and apparently Mexicans, Latinos don't walk around in the daytime, but they'll come out at night and they'll come support. And Chingo packed that bitch out, whatever clubs we were doing out there. We did like Chuckles and shit like that.
Yeah.
All these comedy clubs. I forgot the names of the clubs that we did out there. But the Mexican came out, and all the Mexicans said, dog, we don't come out in the daytime here, fool. We just really come out. We go straight to the store. We go straight to the movies and back home. And I remember after the show, we wanted to go eat. And people were like, nah, you guys should just go straight to the hotel. Do not fuck around here, dog.
Yeah.
And we're in Alabama, and they're like, do not fuck around.
Dude, even in like in Central California, bro.
Fool.
Like, you can't fucking... And it's like, I feel weird. And like I said, but I feel weird just because I grew up around black Mexican people. You know what I mean? So I get weirded out when there's too many white people in a room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm like, I don't even speak Spanish. I'm not like, but I feel like I grew up with the culture and everything like that and all that, And all
you look like Latino. I told you, you look just like my nephew, dog. You look just like my nephew, dog. Big time. You look Latino. You just look like a white skin Latino.
Yeah,
dog.
I'm just fucking. Yeah. I'm so white. I don't speak Spanish either. So like, we're growing. I'm brushing up on my Spanish while living here, man. Trying to fucking. I can order some fucking burritos El Pastor right now. Fucking.
That's all you got.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got. But but it's not. Yeah, man. I get nervous. I mean, going up just to like Fresno sometimes, I'm just like, man, this is fucked up.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get the
People
fuck out of here,
all
man.
the time. Like, yeah, man. Watch where you're going.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you get? How did the Showtime thing go? How did that come about?
The HBO thing.
HBO thing. Sorry.
Got referred. Let me see. Edwin Licona is a producer of that show, but Ben Gonzalez I know was one of the people that was scouting. I'm not sure if he put in a good word, but if he did, thank you. I know there's people just talking about they start talking about you, like, you know, people start asking like who's good out there, and they come check you out. Edwin, I believe, came to see me at the Laugh Factory, but Edwin Licona, who's one of the producers of the show, and he came saw me at the Laugh Factory, but he had mentioned that he had heard of me from other people.
Oh, cool.
So I'm not sure exactly who referred him to him. I like to think maybe Jesus Sepulveda also, who's my roommate and a very funny comedian, who's also done this HBO. He did it actually before me, so I'm pretty sure he had something to say as well. Yeah, Edwin Licona's the one that hit me up, and I think we're interested in you, and everything kind of happens pretty fast. Nice. They send you a contract, they send you a date of shooting, they tell you not to tell nobody, obviously, and then once that check clears full, it's on, dog. You're fucking excited.
Nice. Okay, so when do you make the jump from like not working a regular job, and then because like now you like you said you're a full-time
comic, but disclosure, I do pick up like side jobs here and there when possible. I still coach kids, and but those are like small jobs. Those are like I work like 2 hours, dog,
right? But you for the most part you're paying your bills with
pretty much comedy, fool.
I mean, and that's the dream, and you've made you've made it, bro.
Yeah, it's stressful as shit, dog. It's stressful as fuck, because right now I'm in a place where I'm making enough, like I'll be comfortable if I was living if I was on my own, but I have kids, dog. Yeah. So I have all these kids to also worry about. So I have to like really stressful. We worked out a deal.
So you don't actually do it through the state?
Not through the state. Nah.
Yeah.
Again, lovely ladies.
Yeah.
But we work out a deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Phone's ringing. Look, fucking terrible host here. Well, good for not getting child support.
Not yet, dog. Not yet. I think they're just waiting for me to blow up, fool.
Man, well, I grew up in a weird fucking situation. My dad owes like $40,000 in child support.
Fuck.
So yeah. So I mean, I
talk to him, though?
I talk about it in my act. I don't really talk to him, no. But it's a weird thing to where, like, you know, he still lives in El Monte, white guy, the only white guy in El Monte you'll find.
Wow.
You know, and they're the whitest trash on the block.
Yeah.
And you know, but I had a stepdad. So my mom married a guy that was friends with my biological dad's brother. They were best friends, and they grew up together. So that's who my mom ended up marrying.
Okay.
And so he's my stepdad. But then they divorced in my early 20s. So like but I call him my dad.
Your dad.
Because he raised me since I was like 7. You know, so. But yeah, and like my dad's always been like off and on, fucking like here and there, you know, always, like my whole life. And then even up to like I was like 21, we fucking hung out once, and then he was like, oh, we'll hang out again, and then he fucking bailed on me, and I was like, dude, like,
damn,
you can't do that to me anymore. Like, you either want to be here or you don't, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm 24 years old, man.
Like, what the fuck, dude, man. And I haven't talked to him since, so.
When you hung out, did $40,000 come up? Did the money come up?
No, but how about this? Actually, fuck, I have talked to him since. He sent me a text message because he has my phone number.
Yeah.
He has my phone number. Oh, he showed up to the Silver Dollar too.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he showed up once. The first time I did that show, because that bar is kind of a historical bar in that city. So
okay.
So the fact that I was down the block, he fucking showed up.
Yeah.
And I have these jokes about him, and I was like, yeah, you're in for a treat, I guess, you know, fuck. So I had to do all these jokes, and he's just sat there and had to take it.
Damn, fool. What did he say?
Nothing. I mean, we hung out, we talked afterwards. We seriously sat there, chilled, talked. Man. He threw some money in the tip bucket, and then like that was it.
Not $40,000 though.
No, not the $40,000. But now he's actually working an honest job, which is the first time ever. So
so it's gonna be taken out of that.
So he gets taxed. So every time tax season rolls around, my mom gets a check. And so it's I mean, this is the first time he's ever had a job like that actually taxes him. So I mean, he's sold meth probably his whole life.
Yeah.
So now he Yeah, so now it got fucking taken out of his taxes or whatever, and then he sent me a text around.
Did you get my money?
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, did you happen to get a check?" Like, dude, we haven't talked in like 8 months. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Damn.
And he's like, yeah. And then I go, no, my mom got a check. And
Yeah.
he's like, can I ask how much it was? I was like, you could ask her.
Damn, dog. Let's just say you still owe $39,900.
It's like, fuck, dude. Well, like, how about like, how are you doing? Or,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like.
But I can imagine you would like to how much of a dent he put into that 40 grand. You'd like to know. But doesn't he get a receipt?
It was
or
a
some
couple
shit?
hundred. I mean, I'm sure it shows up on his tax
Yeah,
forms.
some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the situation I grew up in. Did you have a your parents are
My
still together?
parents still together, man.
Really?
Happily married, fool.
Yeah?
Yeah, happily married. Old fucking fuckers up there living in Ontario, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So they moved out of
They're
out of
retired
Huntington
and
Park.
shit. Yeah, living with my sister.
Motherfucker. Oh, they moved. They
Moved out of
retired
HP.
and moved out of HP
Yeah,
too.
man. Just like 4 years ago and shit. Dog. I still stay
nice.
in HP because my kids are there, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my baby's mama lives in HP too, so I
Nice.
stayed there.
Nice. Yeah, my mom's a breast cancer survivor too.
Oh
So
shit,
like, yeah,
good, man.
yeah. So she's killing it right now. But yeah, it was a weird thing growing up for me. You know,
Yeah.
so but anyway, all right, man. I think we'll wrap it there. We're about an hour. So thank you so much for coming through.
Oh, it's fun,
This is
dude.
fucking this is a good time. We'll wrap it there, guys. Where can anybody follow you on Twitter?
Comedian
Instagram?
Jerry G. I'll be in Denver Improv this weekend. Not this weekend, obviously. Not, the weekend of August 9th.
This will
to
come
the
out on
12th.
Friday. So.
What's today? Saturday? Oh yeah. So Friday I'll be in Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Damn,
Denver.
Denver.
Denver Improv. And come check me out there. Comedian Jerry G. Check me out on Netflix. They can't deport us all. And Entre Nos on HBO Latino episode 4. Fool.
Episode 4.
Yes, sir.
If you have HBO Go, it's on there.
fool.
All right.
Yeah, HBO going HBO now.
All right. Cool, man. Well, thanks, Jerry Garcia. Thanks for coming through, bro.
Show day.